We are fortunate today to have a lot of fish to look at in this scene. We have a mixture of whitefish and trout close up, and in the background a good number of large-scale suckers. Both the trout and whitefish are feeding quite regularly, as you may see. But let's focus our attention and follow one trout as it targets a mayfly nymph drifting towards it, and see what we can learn from this. It's a classic encounter of the trout and the mayfly, probably the epitome of river fly fishing, where the trout feeds on the mayfly in all its various stages. Let's watch this rainbow, near the center of the screen right now, as it targets and takes a drifting mayfly nymph. In this frame, the nymph is right next to a whitefish's caudal fin. The poor whitefish missed it, obviously. I have highlighted it with a white arrow. It's going to drift along and down towards the trout. Now, less than 2/10 of a second have passed, and the mayfly has drifted a foot closer to the feeding trout. Right here, the fish has fully noticed the nymph, turns its head towards it, and we can see it focus its pupils forward. It begins to move to intercept the free drifting mayfly. I've highlighted the nymph again to help see it better. Let's pause again now. The trout has risen and positioned itself up at an angle to inhale the mayfly nymph. This is ideal to have happen if you're an angler, because if a fish ascends somewhat to grab your fly, it's presumably going to descend right after it takes it, which for us translates into a very solid movement of either the sighter or the indicator, which is hard to miss even for a rookie. It's a real fisherman-friendly hit, you might say. At this point, the fish takes the nymph in its mouth and merrily returns to its feeding lie. Let's have a close-up look at the nymph as a fish lines up for the approach. You can clearly see the clinger-style mayfly on the right of the screen. I've highlighted it with an arrow again for easier viewing. The legs are highly visible, hard to miss in my opinion. And this last frame is very important for our confidence as anglers. Here is one isolated frame blown up from the video of the mayfly nymph drifting naturally. If that does not look like a gold-beaded dark olive hare's ear nymph, then I don't know what does. Honestly, that looks like a fly pattern more than an actual living nymph to me. It's a dark olive mayfly with an air bubble attached to it, and the fish committed to it completely. So maybe as anglers we aren't so crazy using our generic style patterns. The contrast of the dark body with a shiny bead stands out well. Even if, as a nymph drifts through the water, it doesn't always look like this, it's fairly clear that at some stages it does very much look like it can be accurately represented by a fly pattern. So much so that I think it isn't alarming to a fish to see a nymph fly pattern, i.e., they've seen this before and it resembles what they eat quite well. So what do we take away from this segment? Well, if you can drift a generic fly pattern with good contrast to make it visible, and don't place it below the fish's vision too much, you can feel pretty confident the fish will see it. And you do not need an exact replication of an insect to draw a fish's attention either. Fuzzy nymphs and other generic patterns like perdigons can certainly serve well to attract a fish to your line. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please click on subscribe so you can see more in the future. Thank you.